My name is Travis Thonen. I'm the founder of Midwest Comfort Homes, and this story is my why. So I moved to 7905 Maple when I was about 7 years old. So for context, around 1987 was when I moved to Raytown. At the time, it was just my brother and I. He was around 2 years old. We moved to the area. Raytown used to be a booming community of smaller families. So my father and mother both, like all families, worked two jobs to make ends meet and to make sure that our family grew up with everything that they thought made sense for us to have. Really, it was kind of your typical growing up in the 80s. There was a whole lot of, stay out till the streetlights came on. My mom was something else. She was a bus driver for Raytown. She did just bonkers stuff. Like she would decorate her bus for Christmas and for Halloween. The kids had water gun fights. She brought like food on the bus. She was something else. My mom taught me that you can't be told no until you ask. And that's really where I've gotten everything in life from, was just that one saying. It's helped me drive who I am now as a person, actually. My father and grandfather kind of set a precedence for me that at my young age I didn't really understand, but I kind of lead my entire life this way now. Both of them, they both had two jobs. They both were entrepreneurs, which I didn't understand at the time what that even meant. But my dad worked for himself, reviewing magazines. He wasn't employed through anybody, but he was kind of a freelance reviewer. And then my grandparents owned properties. One thing they taught me when I was young was that if you are on time, you're late. If you can't be 15 minutes early to something, you're late. And that, at the time, again, I didn't even realize what a defining moment in my life that was. And everything that I've done since then has really come from those defining moments. Understanding what entrepreneurship was, what it really meant to be an adult and to grow up at a young age, and see them help me through that process. Tragically, in 1996, my family had a horrific house fire in our home on Maple. It was one of the coldest days that year, actually on record. I think it's maybe even the third coldest on record temperature dates in Missouri. It was so cold, to give you some context, that the firemen actually had frostbite, so they couldn't get their gloves off during the fire. It was horrible cold. We're all kind of working away, getting breakfast ready to go. There's bacon on the stove. We're in the background making cinnamon rolls and stuff. And again, it was so cold that the power lines were starting to sag, and we didn't know at the time, but it actually caused a power outage. We're driving by Kanicki Park, and we look up to the left of the car, and you can see just a ton of black smoke. We had no idea what was going on, but there was fire trucks running by us, fire chiefs, and those SUVs they drive. Everybody's just zipping past us. And as we come up to Maple, start to turn the corner, and all of that stuff is actually sitting in front of our house. But because of the temperatures, the fire department was just freaking out. All of the hydrants were frozen, and they were having trouble actually getting water to the fire itself. The house actually almost burnt down to the ground. The fire had gotten so large that they had to actually bring in other fire trucks to help them manage the fire itself. So we're literally standing in the front yard with our neighbors. They all had come outside to bring blankets and stuff because it was freezing cold, and we're standing there as a family watching our house burn down. And it was a lot. Like, I was just old enough to remember to remember how that felt. And it was gut-wrenching. Like, I'm not even old enough to understand what it even means. I remember watching construction trucks pull up. At the time, I had no idea what they were doing, but as they pulled up, they went over to my mom and offered to secure the house. In that same breath, they transitioned into a several $100,000 transaction right in our front yard. So my parents were sobbing, and I can't even describe how, like, bawling, sobbing. And as opposed to understanding that they had options, they were signing paperwork to transition right into from securing the house into fixing the house after the fire had happened. Fast forward 2 years later, my parents had been working with the contractor this entire time to try and figure out how to get the house back together again. There are times that you actually run out of funding from the carrier to pay for you to live somewhere else. We ran out of money. The contractor had underestimated certain things, and there's no going back. So they had my parents pay for the difference between the upgrade, again, between what the carrier had paid for because of their lack of knowledge and management, to actually having what they had before. And this moment, my parents' house fire on Maple, defined everything that I am now as a business owner, because I was able to see how they were treated, and I was just old enough to understand that that's not how people need to be treated, and that there is a difference and there can be a difference. There's nobody out there that sets aside the time to understand what the homeowners have gone through and what they actually deserve to have in the end. And that is what drove me to start the company that I have now. We spend the time to understand, and our main differences are at the very beginning. There are 3 of us that come out. For normal companies, it's 1 salesperson. I'm the owner of the company, and I physically meet every single customer. We have taken the time to make sure that every homeowner and business owner is being accounted for everything that they lost. In the end, it's just not about the money. It's about making sure that everyone is getting what they need and deserve from their tragic event. Still to today, so after 18 years in business, we are the only licensed Class A contractor and dedicated restoration company in the entire metro area.